Live for Waste Not Wednesday. We're a few minutes late because we had some technical difficulties.
Well, every time I have to reset it for whatever reason, if I mess up in the title or whatever, it's automatically unlisted. If I do an unlisted video, you can't switch it, so you gotta go back.
So here we are. If you're new to our channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe and notifications button. If you love junk, DIY, farmhouse, home decor, or anything in between, that is what our channel is all about. Today on Waste Not Wednesday, this is our live that we do every Wednesday at 10:30 Utah time. We are going to be transforming this junky toolbox into stencil and stamp storage.
So before we get started painting, I wanted to show you real quick.
First things first, there was some prep that happened.
First things first, yep, we washed it. You want to show them what we washed it with?
We used Barkeep's Friend and the knockoff version of Dawn from the Costco. Barkeep's Friend works on all kinds of metal, and then Dawn is a degreaser. Being that this was a toolbox, I assumed there was some sort of mechanics grease on it, so we wanted to scrub it down good.
Yeah,
so,
it had rust and grease and all kinds of fun stuff. So up here in the top, let me see if you can see that. Let me bring you in close. We're moving. So right here, there were these
comments while you do that.
There were these metal dividers that were just right in here like this, all the way along where you see the, you can see where the shiny metal is. Whoop. And we had to pop those out. So what I did is I just took these big channel locks, and these were welded down in, and I just worked them back and forth until those popped out, and it ruined these, but this was all pretty nice. And then I just took an angle grinder and just zipped down any rough or sharp corners so it doesn't rip the stamps or the stencils up. So we can fit these in there.
So those of us that are not Jamiray, what is an angle grinder?
I'll show you, I'll go grab one.
And like angle grinder. All right, Cynthia, I will check out your video. So while he's doing that, I'll let you know what I'm going to be doing. So I purchased this for $25 on Facebook Marketplace, which for the size of toolbox it is, I think is amazing. We're going to be able to fit so many stencils and stamps in here. We've been needing storage for a while. I'm going to be painting it with DIY paint in Prairie Gray. Oh, there's the angle grinder. You show them.
Sorry, interruption. Angle grinder. So I just have a cutoff wheel on here, but you can use any kind of wheel. And I just ground that down smooth. And this one, this Black & Decker, I think I got it at Walmart for 20 bucks with the intention of using it a time or two and then getting rid of it. But it won't die. It's still going strong, so I've had it. It's the one I use.
It's good when a tool won't die. So we are planning on keeping this. Let's see who asked this. Lindsay Ryan. Yes, we are planning on keeping this. I'm going to be painting it and making it cute because I'm thinking it could look really good in my living room. And if you guys follow us, you know that we are always stamping and stenciling in our kitchen, which is right next to the living room. So I don't want to put it like out in the garage or wherever. I just want it easily accessible. I'm hoping that I can fit all of my stamps and stencils in it. You could definitely hit up a craft store and buy something, but you know me, I'm all about finding junk. And first, like being metal and as big as this is, $25, you couldn't even touch that if you were to buy it new.
Oh no, this would probably be like a 200.
Donna Adams, Squirrel Girl Creation says, my husband has one, I can borrow it. You might not want it back when you're done, but you know what? Old toolboxes are invaluable. Anytime you see them, scoop them up, whether they're for you or if you're just gonna paint them and give them to somebody else. All right, so Deb cleaned this. Did you sand it? It looks like you may have sanded it.
I didn't sand it.
No?
The toolbox was originally red, and someone spray painted it along the way. And the spray paint's starting to wear off, which is going to add to the fun, chippy look we're going for.
Yeah, so it's red, then black, and then we're painting it with Prairie Gray.
I think we only have like, whole thing.
Yeah, it's like a nice neutral. I think we only have one clean brush right now. I want to show you guys.
We left out of town and forgot to clean our brushes when we went to Albuquerque for the family reunion.
Some of the water, what's that called when water goes away?
Evaporated?
Evaporated, and so I'm re-soaking all of these. This is what we left while we went to New Mexico, hoping that they're salvageable.
Oh, they'll be fine. They've been sitting in water.
No, the water, like,
is the water all gone?
Evaporated, and it was half empty. I was like, dang it.
Little Downy will fix that right up. So,
let's see if I can find a brush.
So I did not do any sanding on this. The finish is shiny in some spots, rough in others. And we're just going for it. It'll hopefully be just fine. After we seal it, I don't think we'll have any issues whatsoever with it sticking.
I found a zebra brush.
There you go. Using the good old zebra. We sell these synthetic zebra brushes. They're nice round
Don't elbow me in the face.
option if you need a round detail brush. They're a little smaller than the Paint Pixie brushes that we use.
And they don't last quite as long,
No.
but they're a lot less expensive. So they're a great starter brush. Oops, I just flung paint on my I love avocado or avocado-holic.
Avocado.
It says avocado-holic, actually.
Avocado-holic. Shirt down.
Anna Johansson said, I just an hour ago had a big brush cleaning session. Yeah, that happens.
All right, so I got my paint on here. Now I'm gonna just smooth those brush strokes out now that it's on.
When you're done with that, can you do the front? Because that's where we're probably gonna stencil. Once we get this painted, we have project number 2 in the garage for you.
We're gonna take a field trip to the Bright driveway, which should be okay. It's gonna be loud. We're gonna do some sawing.
Yeah, so we get asked a lot, how do you take apart a desk to turn it into 2 nightstands? And we're gonna do that live. Zeb wasn't thrilled about that, but
She dropped it on me at 9.
I'm like,
well, let's see, it was like 10:15. She's like, hey, can we do this too? I'm like trying to get this ready for
all right,
the
put
live
those drawers
video.
back in so we can just do it all at once. I'm not worried about perfection.
Okay. Where's that slide that came out that
But I was
told
like,
you
we can't
needed?
just do 1, we have to do 2.
Jamie, where's that slide I gave you?
Slide what?
This slide.
Oh, I'm like, I don't know.
Well, it's not going to take us very long to paint this. You were right.
Yeah, it's not very much of a video. I'm gonna take this because it's easier to get the paint on with this. The zebra is a good brush, but this one's faster. This is the synthetic from Paint Pixie too.
All right. Slide the drawers on. All right, I need you to stop for a sec.
I'll stop for a second. It's metal. Yeah, it's metal. We're painting the hardware and everything. It's not like super old. It's probably how old do you think this is?
Oh, it could be old.
It's probably
It's
like
probably
70.
like one of those old Craftsman type toolboxes that were a dime a dozen.
And by craftsman, we mean like the brand,
Yeah.
not made by a craftsman. I need
Oops,
more
sorry,
paint.
kick the camera.
I'm getting streaks.
Yeah, need more paint on your brush.
Oh, there's paint on my shirt for real. All right, we're getting this put back in here. Maybe.
Maybe. This slide here is not cooperating.
I'm gonna
Come
zoom
on,
in on
slide.
what you're doing right there so they can all see you struggle.
So you can all watch me struggle on a live video.
Every day I'm struggling.
It's a real thing. Sometimes you gotta finagle with stuff, and that gets cut out of the edited videos.
Kai Love, I got this shirt at Ross, and it was in Kauai, but I'm sure they sell them everywhere. It was like $5. Yes, Julie, we removed all the dividers. That way it would be more functional for stamps and stencils, which is what it's going to hold. The 3 little drawers, I'm gonna put my little stencil sets in.
All right, I'm gonna have to get aggressive. There we go.
You've been working with paint so long that you still wear good shirts to paint in, LOL. I wear everything to paint in. It's just a little bit. It'll either come off or it won't, but for $5,
All
that's
right,
good.
back to painting.
All right. Laura, you haven't caught the end of a live stream. We just got started here painting this situation. All right, let's get this front painted, then we'll go outside and then we can stencil this. We'll turn the fan on it.
We could probably just take it out in the sun and it'll dry pretty quick.
The hard thing is getting around all this hardware.
I'm just going messy. Here, let me show you what I'm doing over here. On this end. Shaky camera, sorry guys. All right. So when you got hardware like this and you got to get in there, you just slap it on. And then you come back in a minute once it's all painted and smooth everything out.
I'm totally gonna wet distress the handles anyways.
Yeah. Are we gonna worry about streakiness, or are we doing 2 coats?
No, probably only gonna do 1 coat.
Do 1 coat, give it a heavy industrial looking vibe, distress, this situation.
What you gotta do, Zeb, is you gotta get more paint on your brush.
I have lots of paint on my
And
brush.
go light, and that gets rid of some of the streaks. It's kind of shiny, which is why it's streaky.
Yeah, 2 coats would give you really good coverage.
Ain't nobody got time for 2 coats. All right, I gotta slightly go over the edge here so I don't get any.
All right, I'm overworking and I gotta walk away.
What you got going on here? Here, take them outside. I'll finish this.
I'm not gonna take them outside.
I thought you were gonna take them outside and show them that situation.
Well, yeah, we'll go out together.
Go out together. All right. Okay. Done.
Gotta paint the back.
We don't gotta do that on camera.
Why not?
All right, fine. I'll paint this side.
It'll take 2 seconds and it'll all be
They're
dried
not
together.
seeing what we're doing here, though.
Here, I'll flip it around. I'll flip it around.
Now you get to watch us paint the back of the toolbox. Oops, there goes my brush. Or is that your brush?
It was just the stencil brush that fell.
Oh, good. Okay. I'll see if there's any questions.
I'm sure there are.
Yes, we're using prairie gray, which is like a really great farmhouse gray. It's very similar to like Sweet Pickens proper. It's a taupey beige color. I actually never used it until I got a can that was dented and ruined and I couldn't sell it, so I kept it for myself.
It didn't survive the mail.
Waste not, want not. Is there any surface DIY paint won't cover? There's not too much.
Not that we haven't found. Not that we found. Yeah, I mean it goes on plastics and glass and all kinds of stuff.
I mean, if it's super shiny, that's always a.
Yeah, if it's slick,
struggle.
it doesn't. Any paint struggles with that. You got to scuff it up a little sometimes, but if you're diligent, you can probably still get it to work. Just gonna take a bunch of coats of paint.
Good enough.
All right, so I'm just getting it on here, and then I'll go back over and.
No, ain't nobody gonna see that side anyways.
Yeah, I'm just gonna smooth it out so I don't have all these weird stops and starts.
All right, where am I gonna put the box? It's gonna go in my living room.
We
Because
hopefully.
everybody keeps a toolbox full of stencils and stamps in their living room, right?
Yeah, I think it'll look cool when we're done though. So, all right.
All right, I'm gonna go outside with you, and then I'm gonna come back in here with the blow dryer and probably blow dry this.
You're just gonna blow dry it. Probably, honestly, if we carried it outside, it would dry.
I don't want to carry this outside. It's big and it's gonna get paint everywhere.
All right, let's go do some sawing, and then you can do the blow drying while I'm not there. All right, so we're gonna go through the land of many lost treasures and unfinished projects out to the garage.
Talk about what I did before you got to it.
All right, so here is this little desk, and I'll flip it around so you guys can see it. Is that too bright? Oh, we're good.
So lest you guys think that I don't ever work on stuff, I actually removed this myself. So this had a brace across the back, and I just took my pry bar and hammer, and I just took that thing right off. And then it had a little decorative piece in the middle in the front. And
There was something right across.
I can show you. I'll probably use that to like.
Careful not to kick the camera. There you go. All right, let me angle you down.
Okay, so the hardware is original vintage Bakelite hardware. I will not be using it, but I will not paint it. I'll save it and maybe somebody wants it. This is what was right here in the middle, and I just pry barred that out. So, all by myself, barefoot. I shouldn't tell you that, but that's the reality. That's how I fix things.
All right, safety glasses, eye protection.
I'll stand
So
away.
let me show you here. I just took my this is a drywall T-square. I use it for tons of stuff. It's really good for laying out long pieces that I need straight cuts on. And so I just got a mark here that I've already done. And I'm literally going to take the skill saw. Just got a skill saw here. And I'm just gonna zip that middle section out. And I've left enough room. I think I'll be able to match this router cut here on this side. We'll see. If this is plywood, it might not cut very good, but we'll see what we can do. So gonna go ahead and cut. If your volume's cranked up or you got earbuds in, hopefully it doesn't blast you. I'm a little over my line on purpose. It's better to cut a little wide and move in, and I think that'll work for matching this side. So it's got these little supports here. I might knock that off, but it is solid wood, so I'll be able to get a really nice routered edge on that when we're all done, and that'll probably make the vlog. I'll show you in the Friday vlog how to router those edges, since we might, depending on what she's got going, I might do that right here, but I don't have it out and prepped, so it might take me a minute to get that ready. All right, I'm gonna cut the other side. We're about to have 2 tall, skinny nightstands. Okay, I'll bring it all inside. Jamie's telling me the quality got bad. We got far from the Wi-Fi.
You want to ground it. Deep down, it's quieter.
Okay. Turn that off. We can't run both at the same time.
All right, sorry guys. The quality got better right before he came back in. Well, you know.
I'll bring them in, and I'll. Well, we might route her from the edge of the garage. I'll just show you from the edge of the messy garage. You've already seen it, so no secrets there.
All right, so all we're doing right now is we're just drying the paint so that way we can stamp on it. I think I got white swan. What are you thinking for color-wise? Should we do white on this for the numbers or black?
I think
Because
white
it's going to get darker.
White will stand out more.
Okay, let's do white. Okay, so we're going to be stamping with, do you want to stamp with paint or you want to use the chalk?
We could use the erasable chalk.
Yeah.
So that over on the table is our current stamp and
Yeah,
stencil
see this
storage.
right here? That's how we've been storing hundreds of dollars worth of stamps and stencils. Everybody says white. So we're going to be using erasable chalk because it's a little bit neater and you get a better impression from it. And you can pick up, if you're new, sorry I should mention this, if you're new to our channel, you can go to jamirayvintage.com and pick up the products that we're using. DIY paint, prairie gray, IOD stamp pad, erasable chalk, and then we're going to be using, what are these stamps called?
Oh, the typeset.
Typesetting. We're going to be using the lowercase typesetting stamps. I thought about using the JRB stencils, but these are a little bit smaller and they'll fit better on here. Okay. We just like to use the flexible mount that it comes with to put our stamps on.
So since these are offset, should we just do like on one side?
I was just going to do one. Ooh, I don't want to burn my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. And I wasn't going to number these.
How big are the numbers? Will they fit on there?
I don't think they'll fit on those.
They won't fit on the little
We
ones?
have to spell it out.
Okay. You want to get a flexible mount so we can get that going?
I got it right here.
Careful not to touch the back of those with your hands.
Oh, yeah.
You'll get them unstickified.
Yeah, you don't want to touch the back of your stamps. I want to...
Oh, new member, did you say hi?
I don't know if I said hi.
Carolyn Perkins, welcome to the channel membership. We just did a video yesterday all on how to use it and the perks you get. And the chapter for this month, we're doing
Move that real quick. Okay, so I've just got the ink on here on the mount.
Ooh, oh, Jamie's going for it. She's doing it.
And I'm just going to...
No shifting, no shifting.
I'm a shifter. Perfection need not apply. Oh, boom, baby. All right, let me get, you can blow dry some more. But I think we're probably, just blow dry right here because that's where I'm going to be.
Okay. But anyway, I was talking about the channel membership, the new chapter. We've been writing a chapter a month since January, and we're going to publish the book at the end of the year when we're all done. But the channel membership, you get to read the rough draft before we go through it or change anything or clean it up. You guys get to see that and see what it looks like and get the story first. So it's kind of one of the fun things for the channel membership. And there's tons of great tips and tricks and kind of our story and our progress from me quitting my job to
Alright.
getting to this point.
Pause. And yes, I know that these letters are not even. I'm not worried about
That's okay. You're gonna stagger it a little so it looks a little
it's
janky on
gonna be all
purpose.
jankified.
Purposeful jankiness.
I live purposely janky. Alright.
But anyway, the chapter should be out later this afternoon, so if you're already a channel member, make sure you're watching the community tab for that and checking back. And the link that we post gives you access to all the chapters. They're available at any stage for all the chapters.
This month's chapter was my idea. I'm curious to see how Zeb portrays.
Steph, you can join membership through your iPhone, and you need to make sure that your app and your iPhone is updated. And you can join, and you can also get a hold of the community page on your iPhone. It's just iPads it doesn't work on. You need an extra E. Oh, never mind.
There's only one E.
I'm dumb.
You're not dumb. You're just.
I'm like Thray. It's Thray.
Problem is, I'll just freestyle the other E.
Just gonna go for it. All right.
It's good enough. All right, freestyle just means I'm just gonna go by hand. This metal is awfully hot.
Yeah, I've been focusing on that spot while I was talking.
There we
I was
go.
chatting
3.
away.
All right, now I just need to do 4.
Trish Cooper, the new chapter will be up this afternoon. I'll make a post so you'll get a notification when it goes up, and it'll have the link for the chapter with the password.
I usually don't stamp live. I make you do it.
Steph, if you can't find the join button, there's a link in the description of this video. If you open up the description, so on your iPhone on that, you just have to go right here, hit that little arrow there, and the link is right here in every video, and you can just join up.
And don't worry if you're not a channel member. We're not. I had somebody say, please don't stop doing your videos. We won't.
We're still doing 5 videos a week for everybody, and then the channel member videos are just bonus.
Just a little bonus situation happening. All right. I may have touched these too much. All right, there we go.
Okay. Are they getting...
If you're OCD, this is not going to help you. Like, this is very uneven. Like, I want them uneven, but not like so uneven. It's like a little uneven. There we go.
Someone says use a number 4.
No.
I think it'll look okay with the spelled out, except for you're getting lots of ink on the rest of the pad.
That's all right.
We're going to distress it anyway, right?
Yeah. So my thought is, let's use, do we have an open chippy stamp? Let me see.
All right. Autumn Stewart, random question. I have acquired a piece of furniture from a home that was smoked in. Any recommendations for removing the smell and smoke buildup? So a couple of things. You're going to want to wash that as good as you can before you put any type of sealer or anything on that. So what we do is we scrub it down really good, the whole piece, inside and out, because the inside's going to smell just as bad as the outside. And we usually use a bleach cleaner or something like that that's going to cut through some of that smell and give it kind of a sanitized smell. And then what we do is we seal it with Zinsser shellac. We seal the entire piece and lock that in. That way you don't get any bleed through, because with smoke smell, if it smells bad like smoke, you're going to get bleed through with that too, because the smoke smell will actually be stain the piece, especially if you're going with a light color. So just shellac the whole thing, couple coats, and that should get rid of the smell and make it so that you can paint it without having to have any bleed through issues.
My letters are falling off. So could you grab me a little piece of sandpaper so I could rough up this chippy stamp?
Yep.
Okay, it's a brand new stamp here. Thought this would be fun to try out. I've been wanting to use the chippy stamp for a while. When you get new stamps, you got to pull off this flexible mount that it comes with. And then you have to take sandpaper and just lightly sand it. You don't want to use a low number. This is like 220.
I think that's 180, but that's like 3 years old. We use it for buffing things. It's probably closer to a 400 grit.
Yeah, you just want to give it some chew. Don't use 80 grit and go to town on your stamp.
No.
All right. Okay, I'm going to try to freestyle the chippy. Like just...
Yeah, just go for it.
All right. So
But
just go
it's
for
better if you, there you go. Here, they can't see what you're doing.
Oh, sorry. You guys can't see what I'm doing. All right, Zeb, you tap some other ones.
Do we need more ink on this? Is it running out of ink?
Oh, it's fine.
Still reloaded. All right, so I'm just randomly picking. Here, let me drop that down just a little lower so you can see everything we got going on. So this is the chippy stamp, and it's designed to make wood look really old and aged, and it works great. Well, not even wood. Obviously, we're using this on metal.
Okay.
So, and they're all random, different shapes and things. And once you get it on there, and if you distress it, it looks really authentic. So these are the IOD stamps. You can get them on our website, jamirayvintage.com. And I think we have plenty of stock on these, right?
Yep, we just got a bunch in. I just loaded them in yesterday.
Because the IOD stuff is so popular, usually once we get it, we run out and then it has to go on back order until IOD gets more stamps from their manufacturer. But it's a good problem to have. See how I was able, because the stamp is flexible, I was able to roll it over that edge and give that a fun crackle look. Let me bring you close so you guys can see it.
And I feel like you want to use it a lot. Like you don't want to be...
Yeah, just not random, or not just one like area.
Yeah, you kind of want to... I need a bigger one. And you just keep layering it on there. I'll show you what it looks like on furniture. Where's the back to that?
So one of the...
Show them this piece here. Show them the back.
All right, so this,
so
this is an old white door that they just used, the IOD sisters
It
used.
looks like an armoire, actually.
Yeah, it might be. You might be right. Armoire, something, maybe a built-in cabinet into the wall. But they just used this over the white paint. And you can see what the chippy stamp does. That's just the stamp. All the dark areas are what the stamp did.
I haven't used this before, but this is kind of fun.
Yeah, it actually, you might want to go like over one of the letters a little bit. There you go.
I always like doing things for the first time, live. That way people can see.
Well, we've seen them do it with this chippy stamp. They use the
I've
chippy
watched
stamp.
other people do it, so basically I'm an expert, right?
They use the chippy stamp at training, so they showed us how to use it.
Yeah. I'm kind of like, I saw it done one time 3 years ago, and I'm pretty sure I could do it. And if I don't, I'll just repaint it.
Tina Jerry, what about that musty smell? You know, sometimes in old furniture, I've tried bleach, newspaper, tissue, baking soda, leaving it outside, nothing. Do you have a trick for that? So the shellac will do the same thing for that. Just, you know, it's just one of those things, you know, you got to spend about 2 cans worth of shellac is going to be about $16 worth of shellac, and it'll save you a ton of headache.
Yeah, shellac, and you have to, every square inch, inside and outside. Sorry, I'm going to keep doing this. Do you want to show them routering the edge?
You keep going and talk and do your live
Talk. I can't talk and stamp.
I got to go get set up.
Okay, Zeb's going to get set up. I'm just going to keep stamping here and try not to mess this up because I really like it. Just kind of do it a lot. There we go. That's good. I think if you go like once in an area and then take and go around that area, that works, because then you just have like less and it kind of fades it out so it looks less like a stamp. If this is not the way to do it, Sally and Josie are gonna text me later and tell me all about it. All right, do we have comments? How will I seal this? I'll just spray it with Sweet Pickins top coat. You could use Big Top or whatever, but I have top coat in my gun. And don't worry about pulling these off. You can just pull it and it won't rip. You don't have to be gentle with them. How would I know if you have molds to match an antique picture frame that was raised? You'd have to look under our molds and see if there's anything close. Chances are it won't be exactly the same, but you might get something good. All right, we got to get in the middle of this somehow. because it's starting to look weird. We're gonna go down in. That's why I like to freestyle my stamps. It's probably like the one stamp that you could shift with and it doesn't look too bad. All right. Sorry, I wish Seb was here. I don't have anything interesting to say. I'm just gonna keep stamping and make it look good. Are you going to do anything on the top? Yeah, I'll probably do this technique all the way on the whole thing because I don't want it to look weird. And then I'll distress it. Kind of good to go along the edge, I think. And you can also take the chippy and go over the, like the other direction. So that way it's not all horizontal. Yeah, if you guys are, right now we only have the website set up to ship to Canada and Australia, but if you're not in those areas, you can always message Caitlin, email her, customer care at jamirayvintage.com. And she will take care of you because we are trying to figure out some shipping situation. We had a company and they just weren't giving us the quality that we wanted. Zinsser does make some quality products, but I feel like a spray can of shellac is a lot easier. I don't like to clean it. Oh, that looks good right on the top. Look at that. I like it. All right. All right, gotta try another one. Don't want it to all be the same. Hopefully Zeb is hurrying. All right, we gotta get across here. All right. Okay. The ink dries pretty quick, so I'll probably get back and distress this. Zeb, how are you doing?
I'm ready.
I'm starting to sweat in here. It's hot.
I'm ready.
Cat urine's pretty hard, but if anything could get it out, it would work. I always scrub my pieces really good if there's any kind of scent, and then I use Zinsser bin. Will I paint the inside of this piece? Nope.
All right, guys. I'm gonna put you in the end of the garage, and hopefully the quality stays okay. All right, kind of got it stuffed up in between a few things. So on my router here, I just got this cove bit, and that's gonna round the edge. It's not an exact match to what this has on it. This is a little bit deeper than the bit I have, but that's gonna be all right. And you know, as long as it's close, it'll still look pretty good. And I could run down to the hardware store and get the exact match, but then I wouldn't be able to show you. All right, let me see if I can bring you in even closer here. How's the quality, guys? Is it staying good? Is it getting all fuzzy? All right. Okay, everything's locked down. I'm gonna start on the back side and work my way forward. So not quite an exact match on that, but a little bit of sanding and maybe flattening this side out a little bit with the sander. It might take me like 2-3 minutes with the orbital sander to shave this down just a little bit and shape that. And it's gonna look great. It won't be a big deal. You can see there's a little bit of gap here. And I could probably cut this down just a hair, like the edge of this off, and then rerouter it, and it would match no problem. So that's that. I might take this inside to Jami right now so she can paint it. We'll see. I'm gonna do the other one real fast while I've got it out here. And for $10, I could probably go get the right bit down at Home Depot too. All right, there we go. Now we've got 2 nightstands to paint up. Okay, we're gonna head back inside. We'll see if Jami wants to paint them. It probably won't take us too long to paint those. You wanna
show them what it looks like distressed?
Oh, did you distress it while I was gone?
Yeah, I just took this.
That's breaking the rules.
It's not. I just took this block. It's like, it says 180, but like Zeb said, it's more like 220, 400 because it's really old. You don't want to use something with a lot of grit to it on metal because you'll just get squiggles and scratches. But I just kind of went over this and made it look distressed. Now, when we seal this, all these colors are going to pop a lot more. And I might even come back and do like some dark and decrepit. I don't know. We'll see. It's a process. But I'm going to repeat this chippy stamp all over the entire piece so that way it looks like authentically old. I've also thought about maybe using like a different color on the chippy too.
So that it looks like more paint, like other colors are coming through.
Yeah, or maybe some crackle.
Let's try it right now.
What if I don't like it?
We have 20 minutes.
We have 20 minutes. Do I have paint on my face?
They could be painted.
I don't know. Okay, we can paint the nightstands. Let's do that. Let's move this. I want to do it off camera.
You want to play with it?
I want to play with it off camera, but I'm liking the look so far.
You want some no pressure playtime?
Yeah. All right. So, oops, sorry. I'm trying not to make you guys sick. I'm going to give you one last look at it. So this is prairie gray and erasable, white erasable chalk. We use the typesetting and the chippy stamp, and then I just use the sander to kind of pull off the paint. You can see some of the metals coming through. And I really focused on pulling this out and really sanding around the edges to bring back the black that was underneath. And that really gives definitions to every drawer and makes it look like it's old and worn, because when you see an old piece, usually the edges are where the paint would wear off first. All right, Zeb. Zeb's bringing in something.
I'm just gonna move it all the way over to the edge. You may have to move some stamps and then I'll go grab.
The color inside, here, it was red. Somebody spray painted it black. And I'm not going to be painting this because I'm just going to use it for storage. And it's just going to stay in my living room.
All right, moving this, I'm going to bring...
Oh, they want a close-up of the chippy.
Oh.
Okay, I don't know if I can do that.
Here,
We're going to go flying.
Just take the whole... You're like a crazy angle. You can't do that.
I can't do that?
Nope, it changes the orientation of it and blacks the screen out.
All right, that's going to take you guys. Here's a close-up.
And look at that. It looks like it's like old chippy wood almost.
Yeah,
that might be too close.
Too close. But like right in here, I think this chippy right here looks good, like over the letter. And then I distressed it, and so some of the black is kind of coming through a little bit. I like it.
I can see a lot more chippy stamp use in the future coming up here.
All right, was that good, Anna? Did you like our chippy close-up? All right, let's move that back. Oh, I'm sweaty now.
Okay, go turn the AC on.
Yeah, it is. It's hot in this house.
You switch it to auto. It's on off right now because it was blowing,
You start
blowing,
seeing
blowing.
pit stains. It's hot in here.
The AC
Coming
just
out.
was going last night, keeping the house at like a chilly 74, so I just shut it down.
All right, let's paint those prairie gray too. That's a good neutral.
All right, I'm gonna go grab the nightstands.
Or do we want to paint them white?
Well, we've been going with kind of a gray-brown theme in the shop.
Yeah, but we need some more white. We don't have a lot of white. Let's go white.
All right.
We might get bleed through, but we'll see. I need some water. Whew, hold on. Enter the flamingo ice water cup. Okay, so we got to take off that hardware. Somebody commented, I don't know if you're still on here, that you were interested in the hardware. Email customercare@jamirayvintage.com. This hardware we could bubble wrap and throw in a padded flat rate envelope, so it probably wouldn't cost more than $7.50, $8 to ship in the United States. And then whatever we deem worthy for the price of the hardware.
All right.
All right,
You
gotta
want to
take
start
that off.
painting? I'll bring the other one in and
Well,
clear
you
this
gotta
off a
take
little.
the hardware off.
Oh.
Hold on, there's tape. I hate Scotch tape. I feel like Scotch tape is the bane of my existence. I gotta get a razor blade.
Where'd that screwdriver go that I had? I bet you that'll take those right off.
I don't know where you put your screwdriver.
Found it.
Where's my razor blade?
Oh, this top is coming off. I'll have to reattach that.
Well, let's not paint the top because maybe we'll just sand it and stain it, yeah?
Yeah, let's sand and stain the top. I got to do some sanding anyway on it to kind of round this
I
edge
don't know
off.
where the razor blade is. I guess
I moved it outside, I believe.
I'll just paint this side. Because that
So-
side has tape on it.
So I'm just unscrewing the hardware. It's just got a slotted screw in it. You can see that comes off like that.
This is definitely not high end. This is particle board in here.
Yeah. This hardware might not even be original to it. Maybe, it might be.
No, this is probably made like in the 60s and 70s. They started busting out the particle board. Particle board!
Well, the rest of it is still pretty solid. Like the frame of it's really solid. It's weird because the frame of it is really old, like kind of style, the way it's built. And then this is just like chipboard, like,
I don't know, maybe
like
it was
the
a shop
hardboard.
project.
I doubt it.
I need another paintbrush. Let's see
It's
if we
pretty
have
well
one.
built with the dovetail drawers. Maybe the sides were roached and someone replaced them. That's probably more what happened.
Oh, I found a paintbrush. We have a Dixie that was also damaged in shipment that I couldn't sell. That's what I'm gonna
Because
use.
even the back of this has finger joints on the back of the drawer. Oh, there goes the screwdriver.
Finger
so-
joints. Oh yeah.
So these are hand cut on the front. Those aren't machined. And then finger joints on the back that were probably machined. Oh, maybe they were machined. They might have been machined.
So I like to do hand brushing when I'm gonna two-tone, unless I think way ahead and spray, because then I cannot get the paint all over the top.
All right, I'm gonna go grab the other one. And I'll help you paint
Help me paint. You grab the other what?
the other
We're not gonna
nightstand.
get two of them done. Think?
Why not?
I don't know. You're gonna need a brush. What are people saying?
I'll look real quick.
Nightstands with stained tops and white bases sell really well, and I like the stained tops because I feel like they hold up better than paint. And then if they as long as you seal it well, if they bring a drink to bed or whatever, it will hold up to that because I like to eat in bed. I'm always thinking about everybody who eats in bed with me.
So Amanda Doyle asked a question about our frame in our bedroom. So there is a video on that. If you go to Master Bedroom Playlist on our channel, the video is in there on how I made the frame and how we put the little frames in. They're just printables. We got them. There's a link in the description of that video for the botanical printables, and we just had Costco print them off for us. And then we just framed them in regular frames that we painted. And the big frame,
No, they were
Is-
IKEA frames. We didn't
Oh,
paint
is
them.
it
We just
IKEA?
dark waxed them to make them look
oh,
old.
there we go. IKEA frames that we waxed. But the big frame is old chippy crown molding off of a really, really old building from the early 1900s. And that is original paint on there that's chippy that we just sealed on. And I made that on that video. So if you look up Master Bedroom Makeover on our channel on the playlist, it's in there.
Raise your hand. Comment below if you hate Scotch tape. It's the worst. Why do people put Scotch tape on their furniture? I don't know. Except, do you have a razor blade outside?
Oh, someone wants a close-up of the routing job.
Okay. If I do happen to get any paint where I don't want it, we'll just sand it off.
All right, so you can see here where the router went down through there, and then the edge is not quite crisp, so I'll just take a sander and sand right there. And they used a bigger bit than I have, so I just used what I had. And this one, you can see it's a little longer. I may run down to Home Depot and grab a $10 bit, because once you have the bit, you have it. And,
nah, it's all right.
And I could just do it anytime I needed to, but...
It's good. Once we stain it, ain't nobody gonna...
Yeah, once it's painted, it's not gonna be that obvious, and it's on one side. It's probably gonna go against the wall, or the other side will be, so it really won't be that noticeable.
It's kind of the charming part about buying old furniture, right? Like the imperfections. And people ask me all the time, how do you not get brush strokes? Well, one of the things you can do is you can spray water to thin it out when you're painting, or you can take fine sandpaper when you're done. Oops, that's one of my hairs.
That's one of your hairs.
Yeah, it wasn't a brush hair, it was thinner. Anyways, you can also take and use a squirt bottle to thin the paint out and move it around. I like to just brush it on nice and thick and embrace the brush strokes. Usually, and they look streakier. The first coat never looks good, but once you get that second or possibly third when you're doing white coat, it looks pretty good. I'm crossing my fingers that I don't have bleed through. I probably will wax the base of this and spray top coat on the top, because wax actually helps decrease the amount of bleed through you're gonna have. So if you get a lot of bleed through on something, waxing it won't bring any more once you get under control. But sometimes you think you got all the bleed through under control, and then you seal it and you get yellow, and people think it's the sealer, and many times it's just bleed through. It's just the tannins in the wood or stain because it's old and crusty. All right. I should have taken a before picture of this.
We'll have it on the video.
Yeah. And Zeb actually has in our vlog that'll go up the end of this week, he actually filmed himself, didn't you? Working on this or working on the other piece?
Working on that, like cleaning it and what I cleaned it with. The vlog's fun because it allows us to do some behind the scenes that doesn't normally make a live video. Because we got to do some prep for the live videos beforehand.
Are you sure we don't have any razor blade handy?
I do. I just told you I was using it in the garage.
Well, I need it. I need it, yo. Now that there's nobody on camera. They put tape on furniture while wrapping presents. Don't do that. Oh, fixing my bangs. Sorry, guys.
Our desk in the office has tape all over it because someone puts tape there.
That's true. I do put tape there. I like to use a razor blade. That's how I get my tape off. I think I got it all off. There we go. Let me wipe that down. Now it's going to bleed through right there because I pulled the finish off. Alright, I'm going to wipe that.
And because someone's going to ask, have you addressed why you paint with the drawers in?
Because I like to. No, just kidding. I paint with the drawers in because they're flush. And then when I'm done, I'll pull it out and I'll sand the edges so that way it doesn't stick. And also because I like to know exactly how far in they go. So this part right here, I'm painting that. And then that way it won't show when the drawers are pushed all the way in. If you pull them out, then you don't know how far to go with paint.
This hardware is kind of fun. It's just not really the style we do much.
It's actually, yeah, it's really pretty Art Deco.
All right, I wanted to show you guys one other thing. I'll be right back.
One other thing, just don't mind me. I'm just going to be here painting White Swan. Dropping paint everywhere. I promise when I'm not live, I'm a little bit neater. I'm still getting nervous being on camera. And I'm not the best painter. I think on the top, we're going to try using some milk paint and water it down and make a faux stain. Because we got rid of the real stain and everybody's been sad. So Zeb and I are going to be working on some new formulas to recreate the look and see if we can. Challenge accepted. You can see how fast projects come together with paint that doesn't require a lot of prep. This, if I wasn't live, I'd already be finished with this one, and it's going to need at least one more coat and then probably done.
So because it's Waste Not Wednesday, this is a really nice hardwood. I can't quite tell what it is. It's probably like a ash of some type, maybe a hickory. Probably not hickory. It's got really tight grain on it. So this is the centerpiece that I cut out that was on the desktop, and I saved these and used them to make cutting boards. and there's like my pig template that I use, and that's going to be a pig cutting board when I'm all done. So don't get rid of your scraps, keep them around, especially like a desktop that's solid wood, because finding a piece of hardwood that big all put together, I could probably spend about $15 on oak down at the hardware store, and oak does okay for cutting boards, but it's really porous, so it's not the best wood for it. So this is going to work out really, really good for a cutting board.
I think I only paid $10 or $20 for the desk. I could look it up on my phone and see for sure. I know I didn't pay over $20 for it. Anytime I can get a desk and turn it into 2 nightstands, though, I do. All right, boom. Okay. Now you're probably asking me, could I have just sold it as a desk? I don't know where my phone went. You could sell this as a desk. Where I live, it would sell for about $125. Selling it as 2 nightstands, minimum, I'm gonna get around $245, $250. So that's doubling my profit just by cutting it in half. And we're not wasting anything. Like I said, he's gonna take that middle piece, he's gonna make a cutting board out of it. We're gonna sell the handles off separately. Those will sell for at least $10 for the 4 handles. So you definitely have to think outside the box when you wanna maximize your purchase. Now, something to keep in mind, if you're buying a vanity and you want to cut it in half, some vanities do not have back legs, so check for that. Because I've had a few that I was like, oh, I'm going to have Zeb cut it off, and then Zeb's like, it's missing the back legs because it only has 2 here and 1 on each end, and then it's missing these ones on the inside. So
a couple of people have been asking how to cover up hearts on furniture, like carved in hearts and things like that. So one of the ways to do it is just to completely cover up, like let's say there was a heart carved in the front of these, if it was carved, we would just fill that with Bondo. You could use lightweight spackling, but the spackling tends to be a little softer even when it dries. The Bondo is gonna dry hard like a rock almost.
Well, Bondo is what they use to fix cars with.
Yeah, so that's gonna work out really, really well. And you can, even if it's lumpy a little bit, you can sand that smooth and the heart will be completely gone. So that's what I do if it's a heart carving. Let's say it's like a whole cutout, like in a shelf or something. What you can do on that is, well, what I usually do is I usually replace the whole piece.
What we usually do is we don't buy it.
Yeah, we avoid the hearts just because they don't necessarily go with our decor. It's nothing wrong with it. It's just, it's not really in style right now. So we either get rid of hearts or don't buy them at all.
But I did sell a heart shelf.
So I'm gonna flip this around.
I took one that had hearts on it and sold it for $10. I painted it pink so it'd be cute for a little girl's room.
All right, so if you've got a piece and you really don't want the heart, let's say you had a heart cut out right here in this space here, what I would do is I would put a piece of backer board on the back and fill that in, and then trace the heart, cut out a little piece of wood with my jigsaw, put that in there, glue it down, staple it into that backer, and then I would putty that up and fill whatever cracks or whatever imperfections I had from my cutout that didn't quite fill the whole gap. Let's say that lip was rounded or whatever. Fill that with Bondo and then sand it all down smooth and your heart will disappear. Sometimes you get, like, the only time I would bother going to that much work is if it was like on a big hutch or like a nice dresser or the mirror for a dresser, because if you add a mirror to a dresser, you're going to add $100 to your asking price a lot of times. So,
and if you're wondering what kind of hardware we're going to use the IOD knobs, and we'll stamp our own hardware. And these will go from being like Art Deco, which where we live is really not popular and doesn't sell, to a good farmhouse style. And they were in poor shape. It wasn't like a brand new, like really good finish. Like a lot of the finish is missing, and like I said, we got particle board. People say, how do you know? There's a little bit of swelling on the bottom, and particle board sounds like this. Ready? It sounds like wood sounds a little bit more solid. This sounds hollow even though it's not. So there you have it. Okay, we're gonna work on the tops. If you guys wanna see these finished, definitely catch our end of the week vlog. We will be filming as we sand and stain the top and finish all of these pieces. We'll throw that in there for you. And then I'll for sure post them on social media. So if you're not following me on Instagram and Facebook, definitely follow us on those other channels, because then you can see some finished products and everyday life. And if you follow my Insta stories, you get the weird behind the scenes stuff.
all right, so a couple quick questions before we go. Designs by Jami Ray if you're gonna stain the top and paint the bottom, how do you keep the color from going into the other, from getting on the bottom rim of the top?
Well, so this has a little bit of a lip. So sorry, my nose is itching. But probably what I will do is I'm gonna paint these and then I'm gonna seal them and then I will stain the top. So I'll paint these, distress them, sand the top, then I'll seal the base, then I'll stain the top. And then that way, if any of the stain gets on the sealer, usually you can just wipe it off. Or you can tape the edge for a nice crisp look.
And we're gonna do some experimenting with the stain on these. We no longer carry real stain because that was part of the Fairy Chalk Mother line. So we've got to find a good water-based natural stain that we can use. So we might mess around with some milk paint, some watered down milk paint, and see if we can find a good ratio that stains the wood well but doesn't get too dark. So because we like the light gray color. So we're going to play around with that a little bit and see if that works, and then go from there. If we find any good solution to that, we will definitely let you guys know and probably do a couple videos on it.
All right, boom, okay.
Oh, Sally, are you not traveling anymore, Sally? It's been a while since I've seen you on a live video.
She's been here all day. I got paint all over me. All right, so I think it is 11:30 now. We've been live for an hour, so we're gonna go ahead and get these finished. We love you guys. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Check out our channel membership and go to jamirayvintage.com for all the paint and products used here today. Did you want to say anything, Zeb?
No, you covered it.
Bye,
We will
guys.
see